And here we are on Daybreak, and in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have our blue Terran player from Prime. It is Maru, and his opponent in the upper right-hand corner from TSL, winning the last 2 games in a row, trying to stretch it to a 3-1 lead. It is Symbol.
Yeah, and you could look for Maru's games on YouTube, but you may have difficulty finding any games from Maru, because if you Google it or YouTube it, you will see the cutest cat in the world instead. And I don't know if Maru, modeled his StarCraft career after Maru's and just did a bunch of things. That's what Maru does. He does things. He hops in boxes, he fights water bottles, he battles plants, he does all just kinds of crazy stuff. And that's what Maru does in StarCraft. He just does crazy stuff. Well, I don't know. Actually, he's just really good.
He is really good. But he is really young, like we mentioned. I think when he came out to IPTL 4, he was 14 years old, maybe 14 or 15 now. So I'm not sure of his exact age, but a very young player. Obviously has a very promising career ahead of him as well. So we wish him the best of luck, but now he has to take down one of the best Zerg players in the world in Symbol.
Yeah, Maru is in that Super Young Club. Creator is the Super Young Protoss, and Life is actually the Super Young Zerg player. There are probably even more that are only 15 or 16 that we just don't even think about, but they're probably the most accomplished at that age range there. Life, Creator, and Maru are kind of the 3 youngins that I think of for each race. But yeah, Creator actually is on the same team as Maru, and Creator did just win TSL 4 at that young age of 16. So that's a lot of winning.
Yeah,
to do at a young
impressive.
age.
Against Life, no less, actually.
And against Life, it was the youngest combined ages of a TSL ever.
Ooh.
But TSL finals, rather. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, Flash started that young. Flash is only like 20 or 21 years old.
That's
20 years
remarkable
old,
to me. You look at his storied history, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, what is he, 23, 24 years? No, he's 20, which means he's still absolutely in his prime for StarCraft 2, and he is going to dominate. I'm just going to throw it out there. So
it's very likely.
Well, 1 Rax Castle's fast expand for Maru. No real surprise there, of course. The map is Daybreak. His opponent decided to go after a hatch first and a pool right afterwards. We saw that he went after the 4 Queen build against Marine King. I would not expect him to deviate from that on this map. It is so important to start that aggressive creep spread through all of these relatively narrow attack paths and choke points through the middle of the map. So that's my prediction, putting it out there.
All right, let's see how Maru actually follows up this command center and see if he does the same build that Marine King did in his 2 games, or if he's got something different up his sleeve. Actually, it looks a lot like it. The 2 gas coming up now. Yeah, he will be able to put up a factory pretty soon.
And Symbol does have his first 2 queens coming out. They're on the way now. And the beginning of TVCs has become pretty predictable lately. There are some players who are trying to change things up. Some Zerg players who will prioritize speed over anything else. But largely, you're eventually going to end up with 3 command centers, and usually Hellions and Banshees. And most of the time, you're going to get to 3 bases and a bunch of queens if you're a Zerg player.
Yeah, we have Maru actually inching forward, taking out a Ling. It looks like a little Ling scout. Maybe was that a drone? Actually, I'm not sure, but no, actually must have been just a Ling. So Marine's actually doing a tiny bit of damage already. Queen actually walking way off the creep. I'm not sure what that's about, where she's headed over to, but that hatchery's not even placed yet at the 3rd base, so the Queen is actually going to double back now, but not until after a drone gets picked off. Maybe even a 2nd one if he can manage to keep those guys alive. No, he doesn't.
Still worth it.
Still pretty good damage done. So Maru actually saying, hey, I am in this game. You did not spawn alone on Daybreak. I am going to shoot your stuff now. And,
that's right.
Yeah, it's a nice little couple of kills there for Maru.
There you go. Well, 3rd command center started for Maru, and I was talking about before, in contrast to Marine King style, where he was saving up the gas and going for Cloak Banshees a little bit faster. Maru is actually going to take that more Tasia-like approach and slap down the 3rd command center before the factory even finishes up.
All right, other than that, though, the factory landing on the reactor, the barracks probably will move over and build a tech lab. Yeah, so he's still in the position to get Banshees out just a slight bit later than Marine King might have because of that 3rd command center being built. But he's still just roaming around looking for Lings, looking for drones, looking for Overlords. He's not going to allow Symbol to have the same kind of map coverage that he did against MKP earlier on. And he's actually, he's on the hunt for Overlords. There are actually a good number of them already on his side of the map, and these Hellions are going to be spotted by basically every single one of them.
Yeah. Now, Maru is ridiculous ridiculous with his supply depot walls most of the time. Like, I remember watching a game where he built 2 supply depots inside of his base, and then it was actually on this map too, and then every other supply depot was right here. And it went like a 3-layer deep supply depot wall, and it was insane. So
it's like a maze defense, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was even like, you know, because he could lower them all.
Yeah,
it's not like it's going to impede his progress, but if necessary, he could throw up 3 layers of supply depots and use those as a buffer before anything else gets hit.
That's true, and right now he does have his first Banshee on the way. Has not started cloak research. I think he does. Yeah, he got the cash for it. He just hasn't started it yet. Another Overlord is going to take some damage here. Will it be able to reach the high ground? No, it does not. It splatters all over the place, and the Marines have to go back home and take a shower because they're covered in Overlord guts.
Nice pickup, though, from Maru, though. I mean, he does a very nice job getting himself that early advantage. So looks like these Hellions not going to be able to do a thing. They actually make their way past the Queens, but they're being surrounded by Zerglings very quickly. That was very nice positioning from Symbol. He's going to lose a few Zerglings, of course, but I mean, it's still worth it to not take any economic damage and get rid of these Hellions.
That's true, and the last of the Hellions does go down, but not before grabbing 3 more Zergling kills, so still pretty equitable stuff going on there as far as just units for units. No real worker damage done. That drone decided to just end his own life before the Hellion could reach him and become a Spore Crawler instead. Oh,
look at that. He actually quits with just 1 Banshee. He was thinking about going forward ahead, but there was a serious, I'm not even going to say overcommit of Spore Crawlers, but a lot of Spore Crawlers went down at the same time as Symbol starts to transition up to Spire.
Yeah, so he forced the Spore Crawlers. Actually is giving the same look that Marine King showed earlier, and so it could actually just be kind of a little bit of a fake out, like, oh, I'm doing the same thing MKP did, go ahead and prepare for that. And obviously he did bait a lot of Spore Crawlers out of him, so that one Banshee with no cloak is actually just a pretty small investment to get that sort of result. And now he's going to be in a good position as he gets that armory started. He's got +1/+1 upgrades going to be done here soon, so he can move into 2/2 pretty quickly. And he is starting those Vikings. Like I said, that was a thing that I kind of harped on about MKP not clearing away those Overlords, not regaining his own map control. But now he does have a chance to actually start clearing out those Overlords and get Symbol away from him.
Right. So now, as we can see, Maru does have pretty good map controls. All of his Hellions are up at the front for now. Zergling's starting to sneak around the back, but the infrastructure is looking pretty good for both players. At the moment, Symbol going to be able to hit with a lot of big game aggression if he wants to, like the inclusion of the Pneumatized Carapace as well, just going to make those Overlords a little bit quicker to get out of the way from these Vikings that are scouting around.
And that's right, Lings are going to come in a little bit, chomp down some supply depots. I'm surprised they didn't just go for the SCV, but I mean, that's 100 minerals if he can get it. Obviously, he doesn't, and he does barely get the SCV as well before the Lings just get shut down by those Marines. Viking is doing its job quite well. You can see him chasing away the Overlord at the top of the map there, and actually killed maybe, yeah, 2. He's got 2 kills on him so far.
Look at this Overlord. It just sped up, hit the NOS there after a while. Go, Fair Overlord, go. Yeah, he is. But still, 3 Overlord kills definitely justifies the cost of that Viking, especially with the amount of scouting information that it can take and just the sheer map presence that it was able to grab back. I'm surprised he didn't check for this one. Those are very common Overlord placement.
He's actually headed directly past that. As long as he doesn't move it, he can run right past it or notice it. And the Banshee
well, now he sees it.
Obviously sees it's there as well. So Symbol not even choosing to try and run away from that. There's, yeah, that other Viking is going to manage to take him out. So lots of good Overlord kills there, making Symbol have to spend some more money. Symbol really hasn't shown a whole lot yet. Here are the Mutalisks actually coming out now, and this Banshee does not have cloak, so he's got no chance to get away. And Marines and Vikings are going to have to respond to this.
Yeah, but there's already enough Marines to push them away from the front. There's also a bunker sitting up here. It gives us Marines a little bit additional range, so the Mutalisk will eventually find a spot, pick off a couple of workers. But the missile turrets are coming up now, and the Marines, nice job actually jumping out of the bunker, stimming up a little bit just to pick off an extra Mutalisk and delay until the other units can get in position.
He could have gotten another one if he focused a little bit more. There was one in super low health, but now the turret is going to grab another one, maybe even one more. Nope. 3 Mutalisks remaining from that initial pack. So actually Symbol losing a couple that he might not have lost in other circumstances. Good control from Maru, like you said.
Well, another 8 Mutalisks are being added, so Symbol is not content with the amount of damage he's done through the air, and he's going to try and do more. Infestation Pit on the way as well. He will start to work towards Tier 3 tech as time goes along. There are a couple of sieged up tanks here, and even though he lost a couple of Marines up at the front, he does slaughter a lot of Zerglings and starts to push them back off of the Xel'Naga Tower. Oh, Banelings rolling it behind, but they're not quite fast enough to catch up to the Hellions.
I was wondering where the Banelings were. This is, I mean, it's a lot less effective when it's just Muta and Ling compared to Muta Ling Baneling. Obviously, you get those big splashes every now and then that just weaken your enemy so much. And he's actually just built a ton of Lings, got the Infestation Pit actually finishing up now, and +2/+2 for his melee units on the way. Maru actually just building more tanks, more Marines, rolling 3/3 upgrades getting started now. So that is actually going to be a huge benefit to him if he can stay ahead of Symbol on those upgrades. That's a lot of Banelings though, 22 morphing in now.
That's right. And that's actually going to be all that are on the field. Maru had a nice scan down at the bottom right-hand corner, though, to pick up on the hatchery. Knows exactly when that's coming up. This flock of Mutalisks still trying to just get and do any damage that they can, but Maru's, his macro has been quite impressive. He's going up to a 4th command center as well, so he's going to be on 4 bases, good infrastructure, a lot of units, upgrades hitting, 3/3s on the way. Everything's looking pretty good for him at the moment.
Yeah, he's well fortified as well.
Except that.
Lots of Hellions just getting totally destroyed, but a couple of Mutas do pay the price for that.
Ooh,
so
3 of them.
3 Changelings are going to walk in, obviously get spotted very quickly and destroyed. But Maru's going to head home. He is actually going to attack this bottom right base. Didn't even have to use a medevac here, just walking the Marines right to their death. They're all super low health as well, so if Symbol does react, he's going to be able to kill probably all of these, but the hatch does go down. Even the Broodling's actually going to get some kills there on those Marines. These Lings, are they going to go? There they go.
Yeah.
Still, pinning in between the minerals like that, reducing the surface area is going to make those Marines last a really long time.
Yeah, so more units do go down there. Nice job to actually bait the Mutalisks back into the Stim Marines as well. So just everything going right for Maru at the moment. He kills the 4th base. There is another base coming up here, and a lot of Banelings stationed up at the top, looking very Hyun-esque here with that many Banelings.
Oh, no. Actually, I thought he was going to commit while the tanks were unsieged, but now Maru is going to siege up, and now Symbol basically has to run from this, as Maru can basically just kind of leapfrog forward, bait those Banelings and Lings into tank fire. Are they going to try and go around? Oh, wow, they actually did unsiege, so this is a chance for the Banelings to come in and do a lot of damage. They're going to kill all the tanks. Eventually, there they go, and still Marines splitting. Oh, but there's more tanks down on the bottom side from the initial siege up. I didn't realize he had so many tanks. I thought those were the same ones that we saw moved up to the top, but man, Maru falling back on his own forces there. 165 supply to 140 right now for Maru.
And look at the target fire. You can see it right in the middle, and most of the Banelings went down. The Marines actually chasing down the rest. Very nice job there. Yeah, Maru went very quickly into double factory, and it certainly paid off for him in the big way. He does have a bunch of excess resources sitting around, so he probably needs to slap down a few more barracks at the moment, but I mean, other than that, his macro is hitting just on all fronts.
Get out of here, Banelings. Marines chasing down Banelings. That's gutsy and ballsy. It's gallsy is really what it is.
Gallsy, yes.
But he's going to come in here. Maru has a ton of forces. There is going to be a slight counterattack by Symbol. Actually, a ton of Lings. SCV's rushing to repair that bunker. It looks like they might actually be able to keep it up because there's such little surface area there for those Lings to attack, and Maru's going to have fun romping around in Symbol's 4th base and heading into his natural as well.
Oh, that's just awesome. What a clutch defense there from Maru, and he's not going to lose that many workers, and Symbol's down by 70 supply now. Maru doing what Marine King and Pung Pung couldn't, and it looks like he is going to take out Symbol here. Symbol trying to rally all he can at the moment, but look at the forces just continuing to stream across the map for Maru. Yep. There's GG.
Yeah, GG. Maru actually stayed above Symbol in supply organically. Wasn't even really winning a lot of fights. He was just kind of macroing like crazy.